you feel like you win this sparring because you did what your coach asked you, And in the fight, of course, it's different.
It was a great fight. At the end of the day, the people in boxing won, and it's a great fight, and we get to see it again. And then after that, hopefully, I get the winner.
Because I have some issues, I want to heal myself and then move forward again. Doesn't matter, trilogy, Benavidez, Canela, or as always, I'm just waiting offer.
David Benavidez has called out Dmitry Bivol, expressing his interest in a fight. Recently, leaked sparring footage has surfaced, showing their past training sessions. Sparring between professional boxers is usually private, meant for practice without public attention. However, sometimes footage gets leaked, giving fans a look at these behind-the-scenes moments. One such case involves a sparring match between a 17-year-old Benavidez and Bivol. While the full details are unknown, some reports say Benavidez did well against the more experienced Bivol. It's important to remember that sparring is for training, not competition, so it doesn't always reflect how a real fight would go. The leak has sparked debate in the boxing community about whether sharing sparring footage is fair. Many believe it can be misleading since fighters use sparring to test strategies rather than prove their skills. Dmitry Bivol responded to the leaked footage, acknowledging Benavidez as a talented and ambitious fighter. He also noted that Benavidez's willingness to challenge both him and Artur Beterbiev shows his confidence. Looking back on their sparring, Bivol said both fighters had strong moments as they tested different techniques under their coach's guidance.
Respect him as a fighter. He's a really great fighter, and what he's saying that he wants to fight me and Beterbiev, it means that he's a great fighter. He's confident and he wanna achieve more and more. It's good, and what I could tell.
Do you remember the sparring with David?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, we had a couple of sparrings. I remember it was some of good moments from my side.
Bivol emphasized that sparring is just a training exercise where fighters try out different strategies rather than trying to dominate each other. He explained that boxers use these sessions to follow their coach's instructions, sometimes performing well in one round and struggling in another. However, he made it clear that sparring and an actual fight are two completely different situations. In a real fight, a boxer must quickly adjust and cannot afford to waste time on techniques that aren't working. Unlike sparring, where fighters focus on drills even if they aren't effective, a real fight requires immediate adaptability. While their sparring sessions showed moments of skill from both fighters, Bivol believes that a professional fight between him and Benavidez would be a completely different challenge.
Some of good moments from my side, some good moments from his side. But it's sparring. Sparring, it's sparring. You do some things which coach told you. You should do this and this. And you are trying one round. You couldn't do it. Another round, you try to do this. It couldn't. On the third round, you can do it once only. And you feel like you win this sparring because you did what your coach asked you, And in the fight, of course, it's different. In the fight, they ask you to do something. You will not waste your time if it's not good.
After his hard-fought victory over Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol spoke about his future in a post-fight interview. Now the undisputed light heavyweight champion, he took a moment to appreciate his achievement before thinking about his next move. Bivol mentioned that he needs time to recover from some physical issues before returning to the ring, but is open to any challenge. He didn't rule out a trilogy fight with Beterbiev, a bout against David Benavidez, or even a fight with Canelo Alvarez. When asked specifically about Benavidez, Bivol said he doesn't have a preferred opponent. Instead, he's willing to fight whoever the fans and boxing world want to see. His main goal is to keep challenging himself, whether that means facing Benavidez, continuing his rivalry with Beterbiev, or even moving up to cruiserweight.
Benavidez, possibly instead of a trilogy with Artur.
I'm open for any fight, but today I wanna enjoy that I'm undisputed champion. I wanna take care of my health because I have some issues. I wanna heal myself and then move forward again. Doesn't matter, trilogy, Benavidez, Canela, or
as always, I'm just waiting offer, and I'm saying yes.
Bivol reflected on his rematch victory over Beterbiev, highlighting the adjustments he made to secure the win. He controlled the fight with his defensive skills, movement, and counterpunching, outmaneuvering Beterbiev's power. His strategy was precise, avoiding long exchanges while landing clean and effective shots. Looking ahead, Bivol remains patient, waiting for offers to come his way. He emphasized that he is open to all possibilities and will take the fight that makes the most sense, whether it's Benavidez, a trilogy with Beterbiev, or another big challenge. Bivol has solidified his place among boxing's elite and is ready for whatever comes next.
Dmitry, how do you feel about your next opponent?
I think the December it will be just amazing. Maybe earlier, maybe October. Why not?
You have a preference, David or trilogy?
I don't have any preference now, to be honest. What people wanna see, I gonna take, no problem.
A professional analysis of Benavidez versus Bivol highlights why this fight is more significant than Bivol versus Canelo. If Benavidez defeats Bivol, it would be a career-defining victory, positioning him above Canelo as the best Mexican boxer of this era. Bivol, known for his technical skills and strong defense, presents a tougher stylistic challenge than Canelo. A win over him would not only establish Benavidez as the top fighter at 168 pounds, but also prove his dominance at 175. Unlike Canelo, who has already lost to Bivol, Benavidez has a chance to conquer the same challenge and surpass Canelo's legacy. This fight will shape the future of both the super middleweight and light heavyweight divisions, making it a more impactful event for boxing than a Bivol-Canelo rematch.
David Benavidez versus Bivol is a way better fight than David Benavidez versus Canelo, only because if he beats Bivol, it proves that he's better than Canelo, is the best Mexican boxer, and is the best at 168 and 175.
Teddy Atlas analyzes the challenges and opportunities ahead for David Benavidez, with one of the biggest potential opponents being Dmitry Bivol, the WBA light heavyweight champion. Bivol presents a unique challenge, arguably tougher than Artur Beterbiev in some ways. He is a disciplined and precise boxer who can neutralize aggression with his movement and counterpunching. A fight between Benavidez and Bivol wouldn't just be about power. It would be a battle of ring IQ, adaptability, and the ability to control the fight over 12 rounds.
I think the purer puncher probably is Morel for one shot. He's the less experienced guy, but he's got that Cuban background, with the amateur pedigree, over 100-something fights. He's got experience. Even though he's got a lot less fights professional, he's got experience. He hasn't fought the resume professionally that Benavidez has, so that's in favor of Benavidez. The experience, always important. But also the pedigree, like I said, where he comes from, Cuba, how, you come from that island that from the beginning when you first put those gloves on, it's all about becoming a world champ.
Another major option for Benavidez is Canelo Alvarez, the reigning super middleweight champion. Many believe Benavidez has been the rightful challenger for years, as his relentless pressure and high-volume punching make him a serious threat to Canelo's reign. Canelo is an experienced counterpuncher who can capitalize on openings, much like David Morrell attempted but failed to do against Benavidez. He also has a dangerous uppercut, a weapon that has been effective against aggressive fighters like Benavidez in the past. Benavidez doesn't necessarily have to take the toughest road. Financially, both fights would be huge. However, if he wants to solidify himself as one of the greatest Mexican boxers, a victory over either Bivol or Canelo would elevate his legacy. No matter which path he chooses, it won't be easy. At the elite level, every fight is a gamble, and his decision will shape his future in the sport.
He says, quote, "I don't want to fight someone who doesn't mean something for my career. And the best out there now is David Morrell."
I see him coming up to 175. He's talking a lot of shit. So I'm going to shut his ass up. And also, it would be a bigger pay-per-view if we wait later. His name is not that big, but, I don't give a.
They just talk the way you want your fighters to talk. They're all about the smoke. They want to fight everybody. It seems like whoever would win the Morrell-Benavidez fight, get the shot. But at the end of the day, we got a guy who wants to fight a tough guy.
David Morrell is so good. David Morrell is a high-risk, low-reward fighter. You have to overpay people to step in the ring with him. If you don't overpay him, you won't get him in the ring. It's as simple as that, Jack. So, David Morrell going in 2024, one of the most exciting fighters, got an exciting style. has a fan base in Minnesota. You know, that's the knock on the Cubans. No international distribution on the Cuban feed because they don't show the fights. Has a fan base in Minnesota. Now we need to see the fights. Vladimir Shishkin, Christian and Billy. Any of those guys on the back end of the top 10, I want to see them in with him.
Showbiz the Adult has expressed excitement about the potential matchup between Dmitry Bivol and David Benavidez, emphasizing its importance for Benavidez's legacy. He believes that by challenging Bivol, Benavidez is making a bold statement about his greatness and willingness to take on the toughest opponents in boxing. This fight isn't just about adding another win. It's about proving that Benavidez can compete with and defeat elite-level fighters, cementing his place among the best in the sport.
And collect a big bag on my head after the fight. Like, this is I'm doing David Morrell. You know what I mean? It's the hardest fight, but I'm not scared of nobody. You know what I mean? I like I said, I embrace the challenges. So for Canelo and his fans saying that I don't bring nothing to the table, I don't do this, I don't do that, man, they're all scared, just like how he's scared. You know what I mean? And if he wants to come prove that I ain't shit, come prove it in front of everybody. It's that easy.
So I feel like it's just a bunch of excuses on his end.
It's just a bunch of excuses, bro. At the end of the day, it's a bunch of excuses and it's a bunch of pride. Because after I beat him, you know,
it's like legacy.
What they don't like is that I'm Mexican, that I'm also Mexican, and I'm here in the United States.
According to Showbiz the Adult, Benavidez wants to prove he is more than just a strong contender. He aims to show he can defeat a champion like Bivol, who has already beaten top-tier fighters, including Canelo Alvarez. A victory over Bivol would not only elevate Benavidez's career, but also position him as the next dominant force in boxing. He isn't just chasing titles. He wants to establish himself as the best Mexican fighter across multiple divisions, surpassing Canelo's legacy. If this fight happens, it would be a defining moment for Benavidez. Showbiz the Adult sees it as a chance for him to silence doubters and prove that he belongs at the top by fighting and defeating the best in the world.
David Benavidez versus Bivol is almost as exciting for me as Canelo versus David Benavidez. I'm not going to lie. The reason why I like it is I always liked what Evander Holyfield did when it came to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson fight Alex Stewart, I'm going to fight Alex Stewart. Mike Tyson fight Buster Douglas, I'm going to fight Buster Douglas. You can't beat Bivol, I whoop his ass. Not only am I showing that I beat Canelo, but I'm also showing that my legacy is important. I'm greater than Canelo. I just love that attitude.
David Benavidez had predicted that Dmitry Bivol would win his rematch against Artur Beterbiev, and now that Bivol has secured the victory, all signs point to a potential showdown between them. Benavidez has been vocal about his belief that Bivol was unfairly judged in his first fight with Beterbiev, stating that he felt Bivol should have won that bout as well.
One, are you happy with an immediate rematch, or would you have preferred a little bit more time to rest?
No, I'm so appreciate that I have the chance, and I cannot let myself to think that it's not good time, or it's not good this that. No, I'm happy that I have a chance. Not too much people has a chance and to have rematch, but I have it, and I'm glad.
Now that Bivol has proven his dominance in the rematch, Benavidez has made it clear that he's ready to step into the ring with him. This fight is highly significant as Benavidez continues his climb through the weight divisions, aiming to establish himself as the best in both the super middleweight and light heavyweight classes. A victory over Bivol would cement his status as one of the top pound-for-pound fighters and elevate his legacy beyond Canelo Alvarez. With both fighters eager to challenge themselves against the best, this matchup has the potential to be one of the biggest and most exciting fights in boxing. As negotiations begin, fans are eagerly anticipating what could be a career-defining moment for Benavidez in his pursuit of greatness.
If Bivol, if it's the same exact fight, I see Bivol winning, but unless they rob it again, there's really nothing you could do.
What'd you make of Bivol and Beterbiev, who you felt won in that fight?
To be honest with you, I think when it comes more down to boxing, I think Dmitry Bivol won that fight. From probably when it comes to damage, Beterbiev was probably landing the harder blows. But you know what? I feel like Bivol did enough to win the.
Jose Benavidez Sr. has made it clear that David Benavidez is ready to face whoever wins the rematch between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. However, he strongly prefers Bivol as the next opponent. His reasoning is based on Bivol's impressive track record, having already defeated elite fighters like Canelo Alvarez. According to Benavidez Sr., if David can beat Bivol, it would mean he has surpassed Canelo, further solidifying his status as the best Mexican fighter across multiple weight divisions.
You told me he's focusing on the winner of Benavidez and Bivol. Who would you prefer, since I know Bivol and him have had history?
Both of those fighters are very dangerous fighters. Even Alexander Usyk is a very dangerous fighter. You know, we're getting super focused and training really hard for that fight. But if everything goes as planned and we're successful with that, I would like to face Bivol, because the reason is that he beat Zurdo Ramirez. He beat Canelo. So to me, you know, if he beat the one, and then we beat the one, we can beat the one.
Do you think Bivol will beat Benavidez?
No. I think I see Benavidez win by knockout.
Okay.
And I see Bivol winning by decision. If it goes, boxing, and if he gets caught, But I think the only way that Bivol is going to win by decision.
Okay.
But if he stays there, he has all that power tonight.
Benavidez Sr. sees this as the perfect opportunity for his son to prove himself at the highest level. Bivol is known for his technical precision, defensive mastery, and disciplined approach, making him one of the toughest challenges in boxing. A victory over Bivol would not only establish Benavidez as an elite fighter at 175 pounds, but also open the door for even bigger fights in the future. While Canelo has long been considered Benavidez's biggest potential opponent, Bivol presents an even greater challenge due to his undefeated record and dominant performances. If Benavidez can defeat Bivol, it would cement his legacy as a two-division champion and elevate him to pound-for-pound greatness.
A lot of boxers don't do this. This is why Canelo's not fighting Benavidez. Why would Canelo fight Benavidez, who's relatively unknown, and Benavidez beats him and Benavidez becomes overnight a superstar? That's Canelo's letting Benavidez make a name off of him.
Wait, so you're saying that you're going to make Conor McGregor?
And just one more from me. Benavidez Bivol, the rematch. What a great fight that is in Saudi. How do you see that playing out, Sal?
It's going to be a really good fight. Again, both are great fighters, and
do you see yourself fighting a light heavyweight again?
maybe.
Let's follow Dr.
Dmitry Bivol will be one of the toughest challenges of David Benavidez's career. Many experts believe Benavidez may struggle in this fight for several key reasons. First, there are doubts about whether Benavidez has the power to seriously hurt Bivol. While Benavidez is known for his relentless pressure and high-volume punching, Bivol has faced and neutralized powerful opponents before, including Canelo Alvarez. Bivol's defensive skills, footwork, and ability to control distance make it extremely difficult for opponents to land clean, damaging shots.
Spar, it's very different than a fight. I have a lot of sparrings when I wasn't good, when I was good. I'm not seeing on the sparrings, it's like on the fight. I'm checking, I'm just trying to do something, I just have some mission for one sparring and I try to do it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But with Benavidez, it was good sparrings. I can't say that something was not good. Now it's Canelo. He has belts. Of course, he's the best in 168. They need to prove it. They need to earn belts. Then we will say. We have rules. You have belts, you are best.
Another concern is that Benavidez is not as polished or technically sound as Bivol. While Benavidez thrives on aggression, Bivol is a master of fundamentals. His disciplined approach, sharp counterpunching, and ability to adapt in the ring give him a clear technical edge. Benavidez has dominated many opponents through sheer pressure, but against someone as composed and skilled as Bivol, that approach may not be enough.
David Benavidez, American, from Arizona, from Phoenix, Arizona. Debut 2013 through 2021. I think he is still fighting. His last fight most likely occurred in 2021. Oh wait, November 13th, he's got an upcoming fight versus Jose Uzcatagu, Colombian. But his last one it was a TKO, took place March 13, 2021. 24, and we got another undefeated.
David Morrell is going to put up one hell of a fight. I just think David Benavidez is not what people think he is. I see a highly skilled fighter with good fluidity in his punches and his moves. The guy, to me, is one of the best fighters in the world. And I'm talking about skill-wise. Like, he got fast hands, He throws great flurries. He knows how to break you down systematically. His defense is far better than people give him credit. Him against Oleksandr Volcik, I was like, brother, this guy looks great, right? He just need more time at 175, which I think he got.
David Morrell and David Benavidez are going to fight.
Yeah.
Is that a fight that you're...
Oh, got it. Yeah. Well, the story with he and I was, I met him when he was a kid. And he told me, I'm going to be a world champion someday. And then I run into him and he's a world champion. That's happened to me so many times, usually with MMA fighters, not boxers. That's when I was sort of kicking the tires of boxing yes, I will watch that fight. That's the question you're asking.
Additionally, Bivol holds a significant advantage in maturity and coaching experience. He has been competing at a high level for years, successfully defending his light heavyweight title against elite opponents. His experience in championship fights, combined with the expertise of his trainers, gives him a strategic edge. Benavidez, despite his talent, has not yet faced someone of Bivol's caliber. To win, he will need to break through Bivol's defense, impose his pace, and prevent Bivol from controlling the fight. However, with Bivol's superior technical skills, experience, and discipline, this will be a major test for Benavidez. Many believe that unless Benavidez can significantly evolve his approach, Bivol's skill set will be too much for him to overcome.
I know I say that every fight, but it's just I'm getting better and better. I'm more experienced. Now I'm physically, emotionally, spiritually. I'm at one with myself, and I'm just ready. I'm ready. These are the type of challenges I want. I don't shy away from no fight. If no fight or no fighter, you know what I mean? And that's definitely what I'm going to show February 1st.
Do you think you break them down later in the rounds? Do you catch them early and break them down early like we saw with Andrade?
To be honest with you, I'm going to just put a game plan together and I'm going to just follow my game plan. I don't know if it's going to come early. I don't know if it's going to come late. But I will be trying to knock them out. That's what I do every single fight. I go in there and I just break people down and I beat the shit out of them. It's going to be the same thing.
Given the last performance, I know you said at the post-fight you were injured, you're dealing with a lot of things. What do you make of the perception of David at 175 from fans now? And do you think it's fair?
To be honest with you, I don't care what nobody says. I know exactly what I do. I know that 7 weeks left to the fight, I tore a tendon. 8 weeks left to the fight, tore a tendon. I got closer to 4 weeks only using one hand.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates next time.